you guys had a good weekend. Rolling through for what we're going to do on Monday. So warm up, starting out with Frankie's. Nice big kick, nice big reach. So 10 Frankies each leg. Then we go 10 WGLs each side. If you want to do warm up outside, you want to do it moving, you want to do it stationary inside, doesn't matter to me. But 10 WGLs each side. So remember, nice big step, reach down with that elbow, rotate up towards the ceiling. Again, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. And then we're we're adding a new one in. So we're gonna go CPLTs. So we're gonna start, first position is our primitive position, starting in that crawl. Then we're gonna pike up, drive my heels to the ground, try to get my legs nice and straight. Nice big lunge step. And then rotate towards that leg just like you did on your WGLs. That is one side. We're gonna go back, crawl, pike, lunge, rotate. Again, that's one on my right side. So I'm gonna do 5 on my left, 5 on my right. You can alternate back and forth or do all on one side and then all on the other. Doesn't really matter. So 5 each side. Then we're gonna go 10 power squats. You go hands behind the head, out in front. We're really trying to work on hitting a good bottom, opening up those hips, pushing the knees out. So 10 squats. Once you're done with that, we're gonna go 5 inchworms. Again, you can do them moving, stationary, but walk those hands out nice and slow. Get a little low back stretch, hiking back up, and hands back to your feet or feet to the hands. So 5 inchworms. Then we're gonna go bird dogs, 5 each side. Just adding in a slight pause, so good extension. Point with the heel. We're gonna hold for 5, tap back underneath. So we're gonna do just 5 each side, but with that 5-second hold each and every rep. Again, 5 on one side, switch, 5 on the other. And you guys are gonna go 10 Superman, so down on your stomach, point the thumbs up, point your toes away, again, lift up, slight pause, back down. Don't need to do a 5-second count, just again, slight pause at the top. Once you're done with that, we're gonna go dead bugs. So on our back, again, you could go 90 degrees, you could go straight leg, a little bit harder on the hammies, but get a nice straight line, lift those shoulders up off the ground, 5-second pause, back to the top. Again, all 5 on one side with each pair, and then switch. Once you're done with all 5, do all 5 on the other. And we're gonna go 10 hollow ups. So pull that belly button down. Again, nice straight arms, point toes away, up, slight pause, back down. Again, you're gonna do 10 hollow ups. And then we're gonna go 10 roller V-sits. Remember, nice rock back, forward, trying to get as wide as you can. Big reach up through the middle. Again, you're gonna do 10. Then we're gonna go lateral shift lunge for 5 each leg. So trying to get nice and wide. You can do them moving, you can do them stationary, but nice big step. Get down into a nice low squat. You can point the toe up to the ceiling. Step back up to your starting point. Again, you can do them moving, you can do them stationary, but 5 on one side, switch 5 on the other. And then we're just going 10 each side with our T-spine rotations. And once you're done with that, we'll move on. We're gonna do 3 rounds of each thing of strength. And then if you have time, 2 extra things at the end just to go through. So for this, you guys are gonna need bath towel and a bed sheet and just a door that closes nice and tight, and it's not gonna pull open when you pull on it. So you're gonna take the towel, you're gonna kind of clump up the bed sheet a little bit in the middle, try to get it about halfway through, and then you are going to have hopefully somewhat even ends. And then you're gonna take it, put it up over top of the door so the towel is completely on the other side, and then trying to get this part of the bed sheet as flat as possible so the door shuts. But again, making sure that towel is kind of secure there, so when you close the door, kind of loud, sorry. It shuts nice and tight, and you have two ends here to pull on. So if you can find a door that actually goes all the way down to the ground, ours sits a little bit higher, so I can't go quite as low as I'd want on some of the rows. But for the first part, you're just going to get nice even hands, leaning back as far as you need to or as you can, making sure the sheet's secure, but trying to lean back a little bit, and we're just going to go rows. So again, really trying to pinch those shoulder blades together at the top, back down. If it is a little bit easy for you, again, you can add a little bit of tempo to it, but we're going to go 10 rows. So again, really trying to drive those elbows back, pinch the shoulder blades together. So you're going to do 10. Again, adding a little bit of tempo if it's pretty easy. Otherwise, you could just kind of lean back a little bit further, trying to get down as far as you can. Again, this is as far as this lets me go, but if I could go down a little bit further, it would make it a little bit harder. But once you're done with 10, we're going to go palms facing up towards the top. And then we're going to go palms facing down towards the ground. So you're going to grab up over top of the sheet. Again, same thing, sitting back a little bit more. But now this time we're trying to keep our elbows nice and high and pulling my hands to about my eyes or my nose. So again, leaning back, driving those elbows back nice and high, pinch, back down. So this one we're going to do 15 face pulls with the sheet. If it's a little bit harder, you can move your feet a little bit further back away from the door. But we're not adding any tempo, just trying to add a few extra reps. Again, keeping the elbows high, pulling straight to our face. So again, for 15. Then we're going to go hollow holds. So down on the ground, again, same thing as it was during the warm-up. I'm just going to pull the belly button down, arms back behind the head, lift up, squeeze, look up at the ceiling, and I'm going to hold for 10, back down, take a little bit of rest. So we're going to go 30 seconds total. If you could do 30 seconds straight, that would be pretty sweet. Otherwise, you're going to do 3 reps of 10 seconds. So again, we're going to do 4 rounds of this strength, doing a little upper body. The next part will be 4 rounds of a little lower body. So for the lower body, we're going to go Bulgarian split squats. Again, you're going to need a chair, couch, whatever, something you can elevate your back foot on. And again, backpack, bag of dog food, whatever you could either put on your shoulder or hug, or if you had weights at home, something you could put down in that arm to load with. Again, make sure your front foot's out far enough, give you a little bit of room to get down. Back foot's up on the chair. Again, going down, that front leg's going to get to parallel, making sure I'm pushing my knee out, toes are forward, a little bit of forward lean, back to the top. Again, if you can, add a little bit of tempo, a little bit of control on the way down, make it a little bit harder. Otherwise, if you have a little bit more weight, you can't quite keep, tempo on the way down. Try to still have a little bit of control, but again, trying to use a weight that still allows you to do the exercise like you want to. Sorry, Trekk's just going crazy in her chair right now. So 10 each leg with that. Once you're done with that, find a spot. You can do it in your socks. Find a spot in your house that is nice and slippery. We're going to go hammy sliders or slide out. So otherwise if you had some furniture sliders, you guys could do it on the carpet as well. Just like we've done before in the weight room. But again, feet are nice and close to your butt. You could do essentially 3 different ways. You could do a single leg version, make it a little bit harder. You could go double leg, and go nice and slow on the way out, let your butt hit the ground, reset. Or you could go the hardest option, which would be keeping your hips up the whole time. So first one, again, would be single leg. So heel starts close to your butt, hips are nice and high, nice and slow on the way out, touch, reset. Again, if you're going to do that version, you're doing 10 on one leg, switch 10 on the other. Otherwise, you could go double leg, both feet nice and close, hips are nice and high, nice and controlled on the way out, keeping my hips up the whole time. Let it drop, reset. Again, I'm gonna do 10. Otherwise, the hardest version would be hips up the whole time, out, and back in. Again, my butt stays up off the ground the entire time that I'm doing it. But again, 10 of the double leg version, or 10 each leg for the single leg version if you choose on doing that. But once you're done with that, both those lower body exercises, we're just going to go a little midline. So we're going to go about a forearm's length away, and then we're just going some primitive reaches. So hands a little bit closer, feet a little bit wider. Trying to keep my hips nice and stable. I'm just trying to reach forward, really stabilize with that one shoulder, stabilize with my midline. Again, 10 reaches, each arm, nice, slow and controlled. Again, we're going to do 4 rounds of all of those. So if you have time, again, you can do this next part or next 2 parts. But we're going to go through a little skill, little corrective exercises for our hips, a little lower body, and then go through a little midline, a little core work to end it. So first thing we're going to do is just step down. So again, if you have a chair, coffee table, something that you can step down off of, it is just really trying to use that single leg, keep good control, down, tap that heel, back to the top. Again, I would do 5 on one leg, switch, 5 on the other. Again, it's really nice and slow on the way down. If you can't get back up, think a little bit more emphasis on the way down is actually going to be a little bit more beneficial than just trying to use that other leg to help you up. But again, that heel taps back to the top. So again, if you can't get back up, just go really nice and slow on the way down, let that heel tap, and just reset at the top. So again, I'm going to do 5 on one leg, switch, 5 on the other. Our hip corrective exercise for the day, we're just going to go hip circles. So it's going to be 5 each side, but you are just going to have this chair right next to you. Again, both arms stay straight. It's going to be driving that back leg up. Leg comes up over top of that chair. Arms stay in the same spot. I'm just going to hold, back, and back down. Again, up over top of that chair. Really trying to hold nice and tight. Down and down. So challenge yourself. I know some of you guys are going to be able to hold longer than others. Some might be able to do 10 seconds. Some might be able to do 3. So find something that's a little bit challenging in between that. Do 5 on one side. Switch the chair over to the other side. 5 on the other. The chair might be a little tall for some people too. So if you needed to use a coffee table, box, you use a hamper or something. Put it next to you, but something that's going to challenge you to get that leg up over top. So again, 5 each leg on the step downs, 5 each side on the hip circles. We're going to do 2 to 3 rounds of those 2. And, okay. So midline, first thing we're going to do, we're going to do toe taps. So if you want to make it a little bit harder, you could go against a wall and get your butt nice close to the wall, heels up on top. Eliminates a little bit of rocking that you could do, just sitting up, tapping your toes with your hands. We're going to do 15. Again, that would be a little bit harder. Otherwise, feet away from it. You can rock a little bit more, move your feet a little bit more. So 15 toe taps. Once you're done with that, we're going to go leg lifts. So 15 leg lifts. So again, on your back. Nice straight legs. You could go hands underneath your butt. Bring the legs down. Back to the top. I'm just going to go 15. Then we are going to do seesaw planks. So again, if you have somewhere that's a little bit more slippery in your house, you could grab somewhere that's socks are going to slide on, or you could grab furniture sliders as well. But we're going to go on our forearms. Body stays nice and straight. Again, it's rocking that shoulder back behind the elbow. As far as you can, pulling back forward. So you're going to do 10 seesaw planks. Again, really trying to keep your belly button up too. Stay a little bit more hollow.
rather than sticking your chest out, belly button out. So 10 hollow ups and then, or 10 seesaw planks, and then you're gonna go 10 hollow ups after that, just like we did for the holds, but now you're just slight pause at the top, back down, just like we did in the warm up. So again, 2 to 3 rounds, a little midline work at the end if you have a little extra time.